Hi world, it's 8:30 in the morning. It's the 19th of December 2014, and this is my take on Saturn on the angles. Saturn, for many people, especially when young, is seen as a planet of limitation, restriction, frustration, blockage, destruction, disorder. Not so much chaos, as that's more Uranus's area, but more the planet of blockage and challenge and authority. Post Saturn return, and certainly post 36, 37, Saturn becomes steadily more and more words like patience, perseverance, determination, thoroughness, self-discipline, hard work, and ultimately success. Saturn is old Father Time. He says never ever take shortcuts. Always do it the hard way and you will get it right. Saturn is also about the energy that you use to bring structure into things, which you push energy into to make things work permanently, perseverantly, thoroughly over a long period of time. Saturn on the angles. Saturn on the Ascendant. Born old, they get younger as they get older. They grow old disgracefully, kicking and screaming, becoming more and more cantankerous and irascible as they age, but they never lose their marbles or their mobility. They remain physically active well into their late 80s, early 90s. They delight in tripping up the younger people with their walking sticks when they're older, and they've got somewhat of a very dry and wry sense of humour. Saturn on the Ascendant people is bloody hard work, and they're often quite dour and glum when young, but when older, boy, do they lighten up, and sometimes they become the most ironic of comedians. Saturn on the Descendant actually got to be one of the top 2 or 3 places in the sky for Saturn. Everyone looks at the 7th house, which is where the Descendant starts, and goes, oh, relationships, oh, Saturn, no, ugh. And actually wrong. The 7th house relates to Libra, where Saturn is exalted. Saturn's most comfortable of all in the 7th house, possibly the 10th house as well, on the grounds that any relationship that's worthwhile, any relationship that has substance or depth or meaning, has got to have both longevity and hard work at it to make it worthwhile. And Saturn on the Descendant, so these are the people who don't get into relationships a lot when young. They generally wait until midlife, till post mid-30. But then the older they get, whilst their relationships may not be large in number, the quality that they get when they're older is excellent. People with Saturn on the 7th house cusp almost inevitably end up in long-term 30 to 40 year relationships once they are halfway through their life, because they've waited long enough. They get the quality they deserve. Saturn on the Midheaven, well, really good position for Saturn. It's got a good PR and it's well deserved, because the Midheaven is the start of the 10th house of career, public image, profile, status, ambition, goals, and the dealings with authority. And Saturn is really comfortable with all of these aspects. Saturn on the Midheaven people, well, they really crap when it's at school and in university and college and in the first years of work, because they just don't take orders. They never have done, they never will do. Respect has to be earned, not demanded. You can't buy respect, you can only earn it. And Saturn on the Midheaven people, well, they just work, and then they work some more, and then they work some more. But these people do become successful, and they ultimately become the person of responsibility and authority that they've always fought against in the first half of life, because they're good at managing it. And then there's Saturn on the IC. Again, not particularly a difficult position, because Saturn at the start of the 4th house, it's got a bad press, because the 4th house is all about roots and home and foundations, and Saturn is about working in the outside world and being successful. But Saturn on the IC, on the cusp of the 4th house, it does create a degree of the matriarch or the patriarch, the all-powerful father or mother figure, not so much in terms of the authority or the dictatorial, but more in terms of the structured, boundaried, disciplined and effective approach to establishing residence, location, property and family rules and regulations. People with Saturn on the IC inevitably make good parents, as long as they don't bring up their children the way they were brought up, and it's a great position for establishing a solid private roots, home and foundations. There you go, folks. Saturn on the angles. Catch you later. Bye.